Hello everybody and welcome back to our show. I'm your host Colin McIsaac, and this week has had a flood of Nintendo news, so I'm sorry, but Sony, Google, Call of Duty, your stories are gonna have to wait. I can't do that animation thing. In fact, there is so much news this week that we don't even have time for our weekly feature. You know, that thing. So without wasting any more time, let's get to it! The original Donkey Kong Country Trilogy is finally coming back to Virtual Console after 2 years. Nintendo originally removed the games in late 2012, but they are coming back to the Wii U eShop in the UK starting last Thursday, with each sequel being released 1 week later. Can we... No, please, come on. The 3 Donkey Kong Land games are also coming to Virtual Console on Nintendo 3DS, which means that on both systems, we finally have the return... That's not even the right game! Nintendo has also released a new trailer for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, the adorable puzzle game featuring the world's stubbiest hero. There's a ton of stuff shown in this new trailer, including enemies, power-ups, and more, but by far the biggest announcement is that Toadette will be a playable character. That is, of course, after you rescue her from this giant bird monster that she was stupid enough to challenge on her own. Yeah, Bird, you think you can take this power star? You're wrong. I'm gonna weigh you down and stop you from. Maybe I'm gonna no. Well, okay. Now I'm gonna no. Never. Okay. Nintendo's brand value dropped 33% last week, landing it in last place of the world's top 100 brands. It dropped from 67th place all the way down to 100th, landing it behind Johnson & Johnson and Kleenex, which means that Nintendo is literally less valuable than Siemens. There are 719 Pokémon now that 6 generations have gone by, and for the first time in 15 years, you can catch every single one of them on just one system. In past games, you'd have to transfer Pokémon from generation to generation in order to complete the National Pokédex, but now you can find all of them natively on the 3DS between Pokémon X and Y and Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Can we just say ORAS? Oris? So much easier. Anyway, in Kalos you can find 455 different kinds of Pokemon, which means that there will be at least 264 different kinds of Pokemon to find in Hoenn alone. Hashtag math! That's how you do hashtags. Yeah, that's cool. Classic Pokemon games will not be coming to the Virtual Console anytime soon. Game Freak says it's because it simply isn't their focus right now, but I'm pretty sure it's really because they have a crippling fear of money and happiness. In the past, they would say it's because the Virtual Console doesn't allow players to trade with one another, meaning you couldn't complete the Pokédex. Which is fair, but I also think that most people who buy the games on the Virtual Console would do it just to play through them, and not to catch every single creature. It's a little strange to me too, because so much of the Pokemon fandom is built around nostalgia, and they're servicing this through the remakes, which is fair, that's fine, but it's just not quite the same. Game Freak also explained how they choose which Pokemon get Mega Evolutions, and there are essentially 4 methods. If the Pokemon is a fan favorite, if the Pokemon is a staff favorite, if the Pokemon would be a good counter to popular online battle strategies so that those strategies don't become too overpowered, or if the Pokemon and its Mega Evolution are important to the story. And this actually explains a lot about the process behind Pokemon Oris. Yes! It all makes sense now. Mega Slowbro is important to the story! The 3DS is Nintendo's slowest selling handheld to date in the US market, meaning it's behind the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, the original Game Boy, the Nintendo DS. It is outpacing the Virtual Boy, but that isn't really so much something you hold in your hands as it is something that you duct tape to your face. We're running out of time now, so let's get ready for the lightning round. Cool. More Pokemon news. Game Freak talked about the ideas of Pokemon Stadium 3, Pokemon Snap 2, and a Pokemon game featuring all 6 regions. Sakurai talked a lot about Super Smash Bros., including how he chooses which characters to add to the roster, and why he adds clones like Lucina, Dark Pit, and Dr. Mario. We got confirmation of a few new game modes thanks to Amazon, including the Stage Builder returning, and a new board game mode. Hope it's not as frustrating as this. Nintendo also finally explained how Amiibo will be working in Super Smash Bros., which is fantastic news, because up until this point, I'm pretty sure even they have no idea what the hell Amiibo is. So I hope you've enjoyed our show! If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, you can check out the links in the description. Join the Gamnesia community by visiting our newly launched forums, and check out our new Journals feature where you can run your own gaming blog without any of the hassle of setup or maintenance. Links to those are in the description as well. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to check out Gamnesia.com for more gaming news as it's happening. Thank you all so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you next time.